Hey, witches. I'm suffering from low insomnia, so I was looking online and I found this adorable website. It's kind of childlike, and I love that because when I think of the Fae, I kind of feel like a child believing in stuff like that sometimes. But I do. I know they're real. And this is 8 signs that a fairy has visited you. This is just a good website. It's opening fairy doors. And I'll link it below. There are some links embedded in here that you might want to check out too, especially if you're a parent. So these are the signs that a fairy has visited you. It doesn't say what type of fairy for each situation, but just a fairy in general. So the first one, when you suddenly smell something sweet, that's of course because they love sweets, as we know. So it could be something like flowers, strawberries, or honey. Next one, this happens to us a lot as witches, but birds will start to sing. Fairies love birds, butterflies, and nature. So if you hear them all of a sudden start to sing, it could be because a fairy is nearby. When flowers begin to grow near your home, they love flowers, especially dandelions and daisies, and they enjoy scattering seeds around. So if you didn't plant something and it starts to grow, it may be a little gift for you from the Fae. The Fae can also leave gifts. This is not in this article, but I know this, that they can also leave gifts outside in nature for you. It can be anything that doesn't look like it should be there naturally, like a circle or another shape that just looks kind of like it doesn't really belong there, and you've been working with the Fae or leaving them offerings, communicating with them, acknowledging them, anything like that, then they may be leaving some little symbols for you so you'll know they were there. This one is so sweet. When you feel a tickle on your cheek. So you might feel a tickle on your cheek, especially at night while you sleep. It says a fairy will watch and wait for the right time, often when you're asleep, and then give you a delicate, gentle kiss that will feel as a tickle. That's so sweet and so cute. My cat does this all the damn time. If your pet suddenly starts playing about, we know animals can see stuff that we can't. They can see spirits, they can see ghosts, they can see the Fae. So if your animal starts going crazy, then you know you've got a little visitor of some type, possibly a fairy. Number 6, when you hear taps, bumps, and noises at night. I'm constantly hearing shit come from my upstairs office / sanctuary / ritual room, and I don't even get nervous or scared because I know that it's either a spirit or a Fae just paying a visit, or a deity, of course. So listen out for that at night. Number 7, when you wake up in the morning and things are moved. Fairies like to play around. We know they're mischievous, and they like to move stuff around. It says here that they might move small things. Of course, because they're small, they're not going to move your dresser, but they might move things like little toys, pencils, clips, ribbons, bows, jewelry. So often at night my jewelry is not where I left it, and it's probably the Fae coming around to play and forget to put stuff back. A few months ago, my husband bought me a pair of beautiful diamond earrings for Valentine's Day, and one of those was missing. And my daughter knows not to touch my jewelry, my good jewelry. She knows she's not supposed to touch it, and it was gone. So I did a spell to locate that earring, and it was in a box, and I hadn't opened that box for at least 6 months because it had my body jewelry in it, and I haven't changed any of my body jewelry. I've had the same earrings, the same other rings in other places. So I was like, oh my God, how did he get in there? And my daughter couldn't have reached that box. So it was kind of cool. I was happy to find it, but I was also happy to know that I had definitely been visited by something, whether it was a spirit, a deity, or a fairy, but I think it was a fairy because they were attracted to the shiny diamond earring. It also says they're talking about a fairy door here. A fairy door is like a little box that you leave for them. You can put offerings in it. It's just a cute little idea that you can do. I'll link it below too so you can learn more about the fairy box. And it says that you can do a fairy door, a fairy table decorated with tiny cups and plates, fairy food, fairy shoes, mushrooms, things that they like. You can leave that for them. And here's the last one. I have never seen this. I would love to see this. Fairies, if you can hear me, leave me some fairy dust, please. But it says, when you see fairy dust, you know you've been visited by a fairy. Fairies have the most beautiful, glistening fairy wings, and whenever they flutter, sparkly fairy dust sprinkles down. So whenever you see fairy dust, you know that they have been there. It also says that there could be a sparkly pair of fairy footprints leading to your fairy door or even under your bed. I think that word is supposed to say bed, because fairies often check under your bed and corners and wardrobes to make sure everything is okay. And this has some links to the fairy door, and then talking about fairy feet, how to make a fairy feel welcome, and fairy fun facts. This is just a cute little thing, and it's got more ideas. Some of these they're trying to get you to buy stuff, but the stuff they're trying to sell is really cute, and a lot of it's geared towards children. But that's all I have, witches. I will come on with more stuff about the Fae tomorrow. As you know, I do work with the Fae. I'm always leaving offerings for them. I love to do fairy candles. They love when you leave milk, bread, even fruit juice or fruit. They love fruit with honey or fruit by itself. You can leave baked goods. Fairies are very inclined to accept offerings, but you have to acknowledge their presence. You have to leave offerings for them. They like for your home to be decluttered and clean because they don't like their energy to be blocked by a bunch of junk. So as witches, it's important that we keep our homes decluttered regardless if you're working with the Fae or not, because you don't want your energy to be blocked by a bunch of junk. Plus, it's stressful, and we need our brains to be clear. So you have a clean house, clean mind, decluttered, as in clean. You don't have to mop every day, but keep your house clean and free of clutter. If you haven't done that for the Witch's New Year or the calendar New Year yet, or even for the winter solstice, go ahead and declutter. It'll do a lot of good and make you happy. But that's all I have just on that real quick. I just thought that was sweet, cute little article. But I will see you soon. Blessed be.